some fun painted rocks before that had some positive sayings that we left around, but today we are painting rocks Mother's Day edition, and we are actually making little rock photo holders. Wow. Yes, I am so excited. These are going to be so cute. But what you will need is you'll need some rocks. You'll need them to be a decent size. That way they will be able to hold a photo, and that way they will look good painted and not tip over. So you want to make sure that you choose to paint or make your detail on the side that's sturdy and won't flip over. So,
and you have to paint it.
Yes, we are going to paint them. You don't have to paint them. If you want it to have a more natural look, that's fine. But we are going to paint ours and add a little extra artistic flair. So we are just going to paint these with a paintbrush, but we are going to do another special painting with some other ones, which we'll show you after. But first, let's tell them what they need.
You need paintbrushes, of course.
Yes, you'll need paintbrushes.
And rocks.
And rocks.
And paint.
And paint. And you will need some beads. Some nice beads that you want to decorate it with. You'll need some wire. Wire that is sturdy enough to stand up straight and hold at least a 4x6 photo by itself, or maybe even smaller photo if you want, but I'd say you want it to be able to hold a maximum of 4x6 photo. You can use either washable paint or permanent paint. If you're going to use washable paint, you will want a permanent spray paint finish to spray it with. That way, if for some reason these rocks happen to get wet or come in contact with moisture, the paint doesn't transfer on our mom's counters or cabinets or what have you. And then for our special painting that we're doing, we're going to do a marble pour paint. You will need a cup that you are okay with getting paint in and on. All right, so we are going to start by just doing our basic painting. We're going to paint these ones, and then we're going to set those aside, and we'll come back and show you how to do the marble. You ready to paint? Hand-painted rocks are done, and now we have 3 more rocks that we're going to do the marble pour on. We have 3 different colors of paint that we're going to use and our paint cup, and we are going to make sure these are nice and shaken up. You'll want to have some kind of a tray that will allow the paint to drip off. If you're using permanent paint, make sure you're using a tray that you're okay with getting paint on, because it might not come off. And of course, you'll want to have something to protect your surface, something that you don't mind getting paint on also. We're just using a large piece of paper. So what we will do now that we have our paint all shaken up, we will start pouring the paint into our cup. So we're going to pour some in.
Now I'm just going to pour it on them.
Hold on. And then we're going to pour some of this one in. And then we're going to pour some of this one in. And you're just going to keep doing that until you have a decent layer. We're probably going to do each color twice here. Keep putting the lid back on. You don't need the lid back on yet. And I will probably do an extra of the teal just because the teal is extra pretty. And I'm just pouring these directly in the middle. If you want to do different sides and whatnot, you will get a little bit different effect when you pour it. Okay. So now that we have all of our paint poured in, I'm going to put the lids back on because nobody wants spilled paint. And are you ready?
Yeah.
You ready to see what's going to happen? So you want to pour slowly because we have 3 rocks we want to do. And if we just dump it real fast, we won't have enough paint for all of our rocks, right? Do you want to help me pour it? Okay. So we're just going to slowly hold it over the top of the rock.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, and then let it drip down. Might
Like
need a little bit
drip
more
tape?
over here. Yeah. And then we're going to do the same thing on these ones over here. You're more interested in watching it, huh? And as you can see, each one will be a little bit different. Watch out. Watch your face.
Don't want to paint his face.
Nope. And if you're not liking the effect you see, as you can see when we keep pouring, we're getting different effects. You can keep pouring over until you see something you like. Wow. All right. So we are going to let these drip off a little bit. Once we see that they've kind of stopped dripping more at the bottom, we're going to move them just so they don't get stuck when the paint dries to this grate. And then we're going to very carefully move them, just ever so slightly so the paint doesn't stick. And then once they're all dry, we'll come back and show you how to put together and make a frame. Or a picture holder, rather, not a frame. Are you excited? Why are you touching it? Is there no paint over there? We should probably get some paint over there. Our painted rocks are nice and dry. We sealed them with the sealer. And now we are ready to make them into these cute little picture frames or picture holders. So this one I did a little extra and put a little bow on it. And we actually used a key ring for the picture holder on this one. And it turned out to be kind of floppy. I just struggled to get the wire tight across the top. When it's sitting, it still works. However, because of the issue that I had with it, I would recommend making the ring out of the wire itself, like this one, which holds much better. So now that you've seen the finished product, we are going to show you how to add the wire and the beads. All right, so let's see, is this the rock we're doing next? Okay, let's add the wire. So we're gonna take our wire. And one thing, I'm sorry, I forgot to tell you that you will need wire, needle nose pliers / wire cutters. If the pliers don't have the wire cutter in the middle, you'll need both. But this is definitely something you will need for this project. And then we're going to use a marker to make our little circle at the top here to hold the picture. So we have the rock. We're going to place the wire underneath, and it's still attached to our spool over here. And we're going to leave a little bit extra so that when you fold it up to the middle of the top, it's sticking up about 1 inch. You're going to then, oh, my wire's unspooling more than I'd like. You will wrap it around the top, grab both pieces and twist. You can twist both the rock and the wire, or whichever works best. So you have it kind of twisted, it's kind of secured. At this point, you can position it where you want it on the rock. And then we're going to take our wire and guesstimate. We're using 9 beads, and you can see they're just kind of regular sized beads. We have ours about this length, so let's see, it's probably about 6 inches. And then we're going to want to leave 1 inch or 2 for our swirl to hold our picture. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this at probably, I'm guessing this is 8 to 10 inches. And you can always cut off any extra you have afterwards. Did you mix the beads up? That's okay. Figure it out. So now we still have this, it's kind of loose. I'm holding my wire to my rock where I want it to be attached. And then I'm going to take the pliers with both ends and start twisting the rock. So I'm holding my pliers still and I'm just twisting the rock. And as you do this, that will tighten the wire to the rock and help it stay on. And you don't want to twist it too much, because if you do and you have beads with smaller holes, this will start to wiggle and make a zigzag line, which will make it a lot more difficult to get your beads on. So I'm going to trim off this excess here and then just close in that point that's sticking out. Try and make this as straight as possible so the beads go on easily. Alright, so now that we've got this all set up, we're going to put our beads on, and you'll want to be careful, especially when putting the beads on, because this top part will be sharp, okay?
No.
So just be careful not to poke yourself. Alright, that was a little bent, so I cut that off. So now we're going to put our beads on, and we went ahead and picked out our beads and laid them out in the order that we want them. Job. All right. So now we have all of our beads on, and we are going to take a Sharpie or a marker, any kind of marker. You will want it to be kind of thick, that way it has something to hold on to with the picture has something to hold on to. And I'm going to place the marker at the base of the beads, and I'm just going to wrap the wire around 1, 2, 3 times, and then once I get to the bottom, I'm going to take it and I'm going to wrap it around like that. And then I'm just going to twist the Sharpie while holding the access to make that tight there. And we'll use our wire cutters again. Cut off the extra. Probably help if I take the Sharpie out. And then we'll want to take them again and make sure that point is nice and tucked in so nobody gets poked. You don't want to get poked, do you? You want to get poked? Poke, 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 poke. All right. Whoop, whoop. I lost it. Got it. Okay. So now I'm just going to put my marker back through in case it lost a little bit of shape while I was doing that. And the good thing about this is you can take your rock and look and see which way you want it to face, and you can turn your little circle to where it will be facing any direction that you want it to. You can also bend this, make it wiggly, however you want. And then when you're ready to put your photo in, you just slide it in between the ring and adjust as needed. Ta-da! Did you say ta-da at the same time? Ooh, don't put that in your mouth, that's sharp. Alright, so do you want to try and wrap yours around the marker? Huh? Just, I'll hold the marker, you wrap the wire around. Nope, the wire, yep. Just pull it around. Try and make it as close together as you can. Yep. There you go. One more time. Perfect. Okay. And then I'll help you wrap it because that's the hard part. This project definitely does need a lot of help, especially when it comes to the wire part. But other than that, picking out the beads, putting on the beads, and the rock painting part is definitely more of what the kids can help with. Of course, if you have older children, they can do the whole thing by themselves. But we are not quite there yet, are we? No. Okay, almost done. Let me get the sharp, pokey part off.
Then I'll get the pictures.
Yeah, you can pick a picture to put in here.
We're back, and now I picked out my picture. Now we just
Slide it in. Look at that. Uh-oh. 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 Picture down.
picture down.
So what happened here was these rings were a little bit farther apart from each other, so we're just going to pinch them together, and then you can slide in the picture again, and it should stay better. Yeah, there we go. And it is a little bit floppy, so you can adjust like we talked about earlier. Uh-oh. There we go.
This is hard.
There we go. Oh, this rock is a little wobbly. There we go. Look at that. We got it. Where'd Asher go? There he is.
Peekaboo.
All right. Well, we hope that you enjoyed this fun Mother's Day craft. It is a little bit more time consuming than normal, but moms are worth it.
Bye.
We'll see you next time.
Bye. See you on next video.